strut pneumonia.
I'd skip
more of a galloping pneumonia.
Army crawl pneumonia.
Damn, I did not think you were gonna get another one. It's like, that's it. I pulled out gallop. I win. We said every single way to move,
Nope.
but nope. We'll leave it with army crawl then, because that's the best. Is the show going? Thank God that got on. I would have been pissed if none of that, if zero of that had made it on air. That was pure gold. You can't. That would have been a crime to deprive the people of all that.
I don't know about all that.
I do.
Bring in the dancing lobsters.
What's that, iCarly?
No, that's the Amanda show.
Oh, the Amanda show? Even
Amanda show.
Dan Schneider, even more controlled by Dan Schneider, so you should be canceled for even bringing that up.
Dude, the dancing lobsters is all time.
I don't think so. Not if it was invented by a pedophile.
I don't know. How do we know that was his idea? First of all, you're not typing anything.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Dancing Lobster. Oh, it says right there that he did,
Oh.
and that if you like, they've taken down all the Dancing Lobster videos because they said that it's created by a pedophile. That's why you didn't see me typing anything, because it didn't work. Boom, airtight alibi. God damn it, I did it again. I got out by the skin of my teeth.
You ugly.
Your mama say you ugly. That reminds me. So I've been watching some of these Office Superfan episodes.
So good, dude.
And I texted you about this, but I wanted to make sure I told you in person. Not today, like
no,
a
I know,
long time
did
ago.
I respond?
I think so. What I had texted you was about that because you have been a Robert California stan forever.
Yes, I have.
And I've always been very anti-Robert California. Rewatching these episodes, I couldn't have been more wrong.
Dude, Robert
Holy
California is
smokes.
the best.
He's the absolute king.
He's so funny.
Emily quoted him to me the other day. He said, you don't even know my real name. I'm the fucking Lizard King.
Yeah.
Genius. That guy is so, James Spader, what a guy. I think it's just because the only time I've ever watched those episodes was when they were airing.
And everybody was still upset that Michael Scott was gone.
Big time.
Yeah.
But and it's weird, like, because obviously you had that break between like seasons or whatever.
Yeah.
And then he's gone, and they're like figuring stuff out. So but that's so weird though, how watching those as they aired, I was like, this fucking sucks. But watching them with even, just back to back, even with all the Michael Scott stuff, I was like, oh, this is he's just not there, but this is still great. This is still a super funny show.
I wasn't a huge D'Angelo fan.
Nobody is.
I just think, I know it's a very short amount of time, but, first of all, I think I don't find the way that they meet funny at all.
Oh, at the bar, right?
Yeah, when they're both, sitting next to each other, talking to each other. That's just, I don't know. It just doesn't get it done for me.
I like that. It's kind of old school.
I know people like the juggling thing. That's kind of funny. The one scene that would always drive me nuts is when he's getting his face shaved by the barber that he brings into the office, and then Michael Scott makes Aaron try to shave it.
Oh my God.
I don't like that scene either. It's just, I don't know. But yeah, Robert California's whole character arc is hysterical. And there's just times where he's just obviously he gets the job, realizes this is the fucking stupidest job in the world, goes and convinces Joe to let him be CEO of Sabre. That whole thing is so funny. And then times where something will be happening that somebody should step in and do something about, and he'll just be like, this is very interesting, let's see how this plays out, and he just does nothing about it. And then when David Wallace buys the company back and he convinces David Wallace to fund his charitable expedition around the world to research
find uneducated
gymnasts. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Robert.
He's just a funny guy.
He's the man.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I forgot about all that. So yeah, I was wrong about Robbie California. He's truly the best.
I'm sure I missed a lot of Robert California. There's a lot. I didn't think the Superfan episodes with Robert California were out, though. I thought it was only up to season 7. Is Robert California in season?
I feel like just came out.
Season 8 came out?
I think so.
I don't know. These ones might not have been the Superfan ones that I watched, but they did have Robert California in them.
Because there's
And they were damn
some of the
funny.
super fan stuff. Is
Yeah,
funny
I've been
too.
watching those because I've never rewatched The Office before, but I started at season like a little bit into season 2. I started the Halloween episode of season 2. And I do like it gives the other characters a lot more screen time obviously. And it's also so like Kevin is so different in the beginning. I feel like he's really just kind of like
his character
weird dumb
developed.
oaf.
Yeah, his character
and then he becomes
develops
like a
quite
lot
bit. Yeah.
more like he gets a personality.
Yeah,
you know.
Yes, which I think he's talked about that before. That
Yeah,
guy.
definitely. That Brian Baumgartner, I believe is his name. Yeah, that guy's done a ton of
Interviews and stuff like
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
There's a new commercial out right now that I just saw the other day for AT&T. That's like, it's everybody. It's Dwight,
Everybody's back together. The whole gang. The whole gang's back.
Daryl, Meredith.
Shout out.
A couple. Maybe
Daryl was a real dick early on.
Daryl was funny early on. He was a dick to Michael Scott because Michael Scott was a humongous racist.
Well, obviously, but I'm saying like just because maybe I'm just letting the Roy get in there a little bit because Daryl and Roy are always paired up, and Roy is always doing bad stuff, and I feel like Daryl though is always like, you know.
But that's the thing
on
is
top
like
of
when
it,
Roy's
Roy's a real
when
bad
Roy
dude.
I don't like Roy. When Roy leaves, then Daryl.
Roy's a bad influence on Daryl.
Well, yeah, Daryl like starts to be like, I don't want to work in a warehouse forever. Like I want to, and then obviously he
Right.
Yeah.
Also, shout out
requests a raise. That's literally when it happens is when Roy leaves and Daryl requests asks Michael Scott for a raise.
Oh, okay.
And you know what episode I'm talking about?
No.
And Michael Scott's looking up negotiating tips, and it's very funny.
Damn.
The one is like never go first or whatever, like the word.
Right.
And so it starts, and he's like, yeah, they say a good way to like throw somebody off in negotiation is like change the location at the last minute. So Daryl comes into his office, and he's like, let's go to the conference room. No, let's stay in my office. Let's go to the and he just like, let's go to the conference room. And then he sits there, doesn't say anything, and Daryl doesn't say anything, and like, X amount of time passes, and Michael Scott goes, I'm declining to start. That's what he says to Daryl. Yeah.
Damn.
Just good
Steve
old-fashioned.
Carell, true genius. Good actor, too. Big Short, my second favorite movie of all time.
And then, that's because then Michael Scott's like, I can't give you a raise. And Daryl's like, why not? He's like, because I can't let other people, I can't let you make more than me. And he's like, how much are you making? And Michael Scott makes like $0. Yeah, like Michael Scott hasn't got a raise since he was he started at the company. And they're like, dude, you got to, he's like, Michael, you have to ask for a raise. Like, you have to go get a raise. And Michael Scott's like, I don't know. Yeah.
Michael, like the way Michael spends his money is one of the most underrated parts of that show, I think. Like
the episode with him and Oscar when they're looking at their finances.
I haven't seen that one yet. I haven't seen that on the rewatch. But I just remember when he is going to propose to Holly, and he's got that big ring, and he's like, 3 years salary or whatever. Like, that's so funny. And obviously
that's after.
Oh, I know that's way down the line. I'm just saying. It goes all the way
when he's
through.
dating Jan. It's when he declares bankruptcy. I declare bankruptcy. It's dude, the one the I can't remember what the TV show is, but he orders so he has no money and he doesn't know how to tell Jan, so he asks Oscar to make a so Oscar makes a PowerPoint pretty much saying this is where you need to, this is where you should be, this is where you are. This is what your expenses are, and this is where your money is going. And he's going through credit card receipts, and it's like a box set of some, I can't remember the TV show, but he orders the whole box. He's like, Oscar's $129 on the box set of blah blah, and he's like, oh yeah, I needed that. And then he reads 2 more chargers, and he's like, another $129 on the same exact box set. Michael, why do you have 2 of these? And Michael's like, the other one was going to be a gift or something like that. And Oscar's like, you forgot you had ordered it the first time, didn't you? And Michael's like, I forgot that I ordered it the first time, yeah. Just good old-fashioned fun.
Just good old-fashioned network TV, baby.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. to network TV.
R.I.P. to network TV.
Yeah. I have watched a little bit of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Sure.
Now that's on Peacock. Or not that it's not been on Peacock, but with it on Peacock. And I've watched some New Girl again. I'd already rewatched that again. But New Girl, another very funny show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I was just thinking about Brooklyn Nine-Nine in comparison to like The Office specifically, and the thing about the character of Michael Scott is that he's got so many different levels to him. Like that's why because he's so funny in every situation, because he's just the way he reacts is so different. But Jake Peralta, as much as I like Brooklyn Nine-Nine, like every character on that show is pretty much just baseline across the board.
And
it's funny, but it's also like, why I was thinking it? Because I'm like, that's got to be so exhausting. Because there are scenes, like when Michael gets like, kind of pouty or whatever, and Steve Carell can be funny, like playing very low energy when he does stuff, like this and things like that. But then if you're Andy Samberg being Jake Peralta, like that whole guy is just like, blah, you know what I mean? Like that's got to be day in and day out. That's got to be brutal.
Eats too much sugar and then falls asleep, and they change all the clocks in the office to say 5 o'clock, and they all get really loud on 3. He's like, oh, day's already over, huh? Yeah.
So Jake was in here last week, and
Fizito?
No, Lumadou. Jake Lumadou.
Yeah, shows how much I look at the Instagram.
Well, you had walking pnemonia. You were
Well,
out for a stroll. You
I
were
had
out for a
army
stroll.
crawling pneumonia.
Oh, army crawling pneumonia.
Yeah.
Call back, beautifully done. But I was kind of glad to have him on here because I needed
You needed some gloves in your life?
Always, baby. My fingers were getting cold. I needed some gloves on the pod.
Didn't like
He's
that.
gonna love that. Oh yeah, I loved it. He's gonna like that too. Well, he's gonna hate it, which is why I love it. But I needed a real criticism of my best man speech, obviously, because he was there.
You did a best man speech for William.
Yes, and I'll tell you what, I was appreciative for him to give me the truth, because it was kind of exactly how I felt about it.
What was his breakdown?
Well, he was like,
Without
it was good, but we did notice that it ended very abruptly, and I was like, okay, that's kind of what I expected, because I did the speech and it was very short. Now, and I've never done a best man speech before. I didn't know how it was going to go. The best man speech that you gave for my wedding, obviously spectacular, very emotional as well. Not a dry eye in the house. I could not. That was definitely not the crowd at this place, so there was no way I was going for that. So again, it was like I wanted to keep it short, and also it just ended up being very short.
Yeah. You got to. I mean, it's better to keep it short.
It's got to be short, especially if I'm not getting too in depth and things like that. So, I get up there, get a quick, get a quick kind of pop, like reset on everybody, because I'm like, folks, my best friend just got married. Let's hear it one more time for the brand new Mr. and Mrs. Bell Black, and everybody goes nuts. Nail him with a joke with the grandmother. Like right away, for a couple, because obviously the family all knows her, but they're also from such a small town, like everybody knows her. So I get a big pop from that. Mention Corinne, Bill's new wife, who's awesome.
Have to,
but mention her very briefly. I didn't go into that enough. Was another criticism, but again, I didn't.
It's tough if you don't.
It's tough.
Yeah.
But then I finished on like it was a segue from like, Bill is so great and stuff, grandma joke, Corinne is great, into a joke about Bill.
A Bill story joke.
Obviously, and then I kind of wrapped it up quick because my tag didn't get the laugh that I was expecting, so I like fully panicked, lost my spot on the page, and was like, okay, go to the toast at the end, and then kind of, hit it with that. Yeah. But God, I just want to get back in the game. I want to do another best man speech. I got to get better at it.
You get an itch, dude.
Give me the ball.
Yeah.
Give me the ball. Okay, I want to be. I want to prove myself out there.
I had the itch after I did yours. I was like, somebody fucking let me get back in the ring. Just give me a microphone.
Yeah. Let's get it going. A little wedding ringer action.
Yeah.
I almost rewatched that movie the other weekend.
I did watch it the other weekend.
You're joking.
Yeah, I swear. I had to rent it on Amazon.
Son of a
It's the only
bitch.
place I could find it.
You know, because I almost, even though I wasn't going to watch it, I almost still sent you the
I'm in the coconut and drink it all up.
Yes, I was going to send you that, but I held off on it for whatever reason. And I should have, because I bet you it was just the way things always line up. It would have been right when you were watching it.
Dude, I probably would have.
Underrated flick.
The only thing I hate about that movie is there's no fucking way that Josh Gad and Kevin Hart would be friends in that movie, like, after all is said and done.
What do you mean?
Like,
they
Kevin
bond.
Hart, I know, but that's Kevin Hart's whole thing. Kevin Hart doesn't fucking bond, dude. This is a business.
But that's the point of the movie, is that Josh Gad
know.
they both grow,
Andy,
Matthew. They both grow in that movie.
If Josh Gad was that powerful in friendship, he wouldn't have needed fucking to hire an entire.
But he's kind of a shy dude. That's why he doesn't have, and he's spending so much time with Kaylee Cuoco. That's why he's not making all these friends. But if people took the time to get to know him, they'd see what a great guy he is, and that's what happens with him and Kevin Hart. They both come out of their shell.
I think the underlying part of that movie is if Josh Gad's wife didn't have a hot sister, Kevin Hart would have been out of there already.
That's possible. That's quite possible.
That's how it would happen in real life.
Yeah, maybe. But he does stick around, so they do build this friendship because they get to know each other a little better, and everybody grows.
He goes off script. He goes off the script, off speech in the movie at that wedding. Doesn't think that's his number one rule.
That's a number one. Yeah, because Josh Peck cameo in that flick.
He fucks up.
They go to like check out the one wedding, and Josh Peck is like tearing up the. Speaking of my best man speech, here's something else that I sat back down. DeRico next to me goes, "You forgot to introduce yourself," and I go, "No, I didn't," because that's my number one pet peeve for all speeches. Maybe you have a different opinion on this, but my number one pet peeve is every wedding speech. I'm bringing out the Trump hands for this one, baby. Every maid of honor speech that I've ever heard starts the exact same way. And a lot of best man speeches do it as well. But every single speech I've heard at the wedding goes, "For those of you who don't know me."
Yeah, but there's other ways to do it. Like you got to find a better. I don't remember what I said.
I mean, I did mention that I was Bill's best friend with that pop at the beginning. So that's not terrible, but I didn't say my name.
But that's the thing. It's best man speech it's a personal speech, even if it's not emotional. So that's why people got to know who you are, because there's a chance if a lot of those people, know Bill, maybe they've heard of you in passing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So hey, just in case you have heard, like instead of what did you say you don't like? For those of you who don't know.
For those of you who don't know me.
I know most of you probably already know this, but my name's Andrew Cannon. I'm Bill Black's best friend.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's funny.
You got to exactly. And then you get a little bit of
sure. Bless you.
That was not a sneeze.
I don't care. I'm just hoping you're blessed, baby.
I feel so incredibly blessed.
It's a humbling.
I didn't know you were giving a best man speech.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I'm not kidding you. When I had to give your best man speech, it was it was in my brain. Like, don't go. You have to practice this because you can't go off script. The movie says don't go off script.
Absolutely.
Then I can't go off script.
Only gonna end badly.
No, and I'm almost never on script. But when you do something like that, the movie told me to be on script, so I was. Other than that, don't put a script in front of my face. I've gone to there's a few times that I've gone to my former college to give talks to
the youth,
to graduating classes and stuff like that.
Obviously.
And I mean, I go into that stuff just raw. Don't think about a thing I'm going to say until I walk in the room, and then I just start letting it fly.
Yeah.
It works out okay.
Yeah, that's a different environment. I feel like that you have the skill set where I think you could thrive in that environment. Certainly not everybody could.
Because there's nothing worse than like PowerPoint slide, PowerPoint slide, PowerPoint slide, PowerPoint slide.
That shut you off, dude. That was one big at the podcast convention or whatever in Los Angeles. A big thing that I was talking to with my buddy was like, some of these presenters are just fucking really not good at this.
Yeah, which is crazy because if they are presenting, they probably do a podcast. But a lot of podcasts are a lot tighter than ours.
Yeah, for sure. Although there
ours
was this,
is really about it. Ours is I couldn't even call ours loose because that implies that there's some type of structure.
Yeah. No,
we're
Bruce Lean it, dude, baby.
Yeah.
This podcast is like water.
We're a gas, baby.
Water.
We're a gas. Yeah, somebody opened the lid.
Worse.
Yeah,
this podcast is definitely gas. This is a big old fart podcast. Yeah. If I had to put a name to it, I'd say it's probably a big old.
When
fart
on,
cast.
when Adrian's on, it's a poop podcast.
Yeah. Then it's a little more. The bowel movements get a little more solid in that instance.
I know. I haven't. I forgot. That we went a week without Communicado because of that. I forgot. We didn't really get to talk about the wedding, did we? Or did we have an episode after?
I have no idea. It's hard to remember.
It's all a blur, man.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, we did because I was talking about going on the St. Louis Arch.
Yeah.
I saw that blind guy, which I'm still thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't know. He seemed happy. It was kind of cool. So it's built to sway, obviously, because but like the most that it is ever gonna go is like 9 inches either way. I
don't fuck with buildings that move, dude. That's why I didn't like the Sky Needle.
It has to move.
No, but remember the Sky Needle was like legit
the
rocking?
Space Needle? No, I don't remember that.
It's the same thing, dude.
No, it's different. You have the sky and then you have space. Sky, space.
The Space Needle was like, I literally remember feeling like I was on a cruise ship.
I don't remember that.
I might have been in my own head.
It could have been.
Yeah.
But the one I wish they had that because at the Space Needle, the glass floor, they do have that at Space Needle.
The glass floor either.
That's why I like you gotta put the fear of God in yourself sometimes a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sing a little hymn, feel a little panic.
One thing that we need to talk about, Andy, I don't know if this is something that you want to talk about. Is the Buffalo Sabres.
Sure.
Did you see the news?
No.
You didn't see the news?
Oh, Lindy Ruff? I did see the news.
Lindy Ruff. The Buffalo Sabres hired former coach Lindy Ruff. Former Sabres player, former Sabres coach Lindy Ruff. Andy, there's a lot of like very hostile discussion around the hire.
Okay.
And we don't really need to get into all of that.
Okay.
But what I can say is I'm so pro Lindy Ruff hire. I couldn't be more ecstatic. For a team that I have let make me so sad for so long, 13 years to be exact, Lindy Ruff being back in the building is, I mean, I don't know how you couldn't be excited. The reason that people are pissed is because they think like it's a nostalgia hire because they never get, they don't have enough fans in the stands, so they're like, think they're trying to slap lipstick on a pig was something I heard a guy say on the radio, which I couldn't disagree more. One, because he is a legitimately good coach if you look at his numbies.
Where was he when he left the Sabres? He was in Dallas for a while, right?
Yeah. Okay. And then he was in New Jersey.
Head coaching jobs all the way?
Head coaching, yeah.
Okay.
Then he was in New Jersey, and then he got fired from New Jersey this past year. Now he's back in Buffalo.
That's what happens. You can't make it. You can't make it in Jersey. You come to Buffalo. That's the way it goes.
Yep. So I'm just ecstatic about it, though. One, because I think he's a good coach, but two, because there is so much nostalgia involved with Lindy being back. Like, oh my goodness gracious, the glory years, man. Those were Sabres' glory years. Anybody who doesn't like to hire, kick rocks.
There you go.
I just had to get that out.
I like Lindy Ruff because he looks like an old newspaper editor man to me. Like, that guy knows how to wear a pair of suspenders. You know what I'm saying? If that guy doesn't get the specs on his desk before they go to print, dude, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, that's
and that's
Lindy's
what I like.
Firm, man. Lindy's tough. There was some clips reserved of Lindy, like,
it was resolute.
It was firm. It was resolve. No. It was firm. It was. What's the next word?
I can't remember. I know there's another word in
resolve. Resolve.
That can't be right.
No, I know there's another. It was firm. It was something. It was resolve. Resolve.
Resolute?
No, not resolute desks. Oh. That's not where he goes with it.
Well, I don't.
On a declaration that 55 men signed. Declaration of Independence. Oh, genius, really. A document of that importance would ensure the map's survival. Fuck Ian.
How have they not made
a third one?
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
I know. I mean, I know we've spent so many hours talking about it, but like that movie is just so. I mean, it's a classic adventure on top of like all kinds of really fun, American history and like fictional, historical fiction and stuff. It's perfect. It's so, and I think
it's too educational, Andy.
And I think that is the kind of movie that people want to see in theaters again. You know what I'm saying? Like these days, you only go to the theater for like the big blockbusters like Dune 2 and, superhero movies and things like that. But I think you could get some butts in seats if you have like another kind of like a couple of B's and S's, baby. If you get just kind of a not a huge crazy CGI fest or anything like that, but just like a solid because the thing about that movie is it keeps your attention the whole time because there's an element of mystery and things like that. You want to see what happens. So if they do some shit like that, I think you can get B's and S's no problem.
Listen, I'd put my B in an S for that.
100%, baby. I'd buy a couple of S's.
Yeah.
All right. And I only got one B.
Yeah. Just move around throughout the movie.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in a theater where it's like just you or just the party that you're with? Really? Do you remember how many times?
Multiple.
Okay. Do you remember any of them at all? What they were?
No, but I used to be a big movie guy. Like I used to see every I still like watching, but I used to be a big theater guy. The Guava?
It's not bad, buddy. It's not bad.
Yeah.
The Kiwis was killing
I
it.
saw a tweet that was like, should Netflix do this? And it was like a Netflix movie theater. And somebody quote tweeted and was like, yeah, and they should also make a store where you can go in, and if you're a subscriber, you can pick up movies, and you just have to bring them back to the store after a few days. Like obviously being sarcastic. Yeah. That's all I got.
What were we just talking about,
National Treasure.
Oh, no, we were talking about the theaters and things. The only two times that I've been in the theaters, like, where it's just me and whoever I'm with, Manchester by the Sea, the Casey Affleck movie. Did you ever see that?
No. And there's a reason you were the only person in that theater.
Okay, first of all, that's a good-ass movie, and I think you would like it, but it is emotionally devastating. The other time was the night before. And when we first got in there, it was me and my buddy, and we weren't.
Dude, that movie's funny.
Very funny movie. There was one other guy in the theater with us, and he sat right up front. And there's that part where Seth Rogen starts tripping, and his hands become tentacles, which is like midway through the movie or whatever. And the guy, the only other guy in the theater, starts cracking up at that. He loves it. He thinks it's so funny. And then, as soon as that scene's done, he got up and walked out, and he didn't come back for the rest of the movie.
Did he buy another ticket just to see that scene again?
I don't know, maybe.
He didn't know what YouTube was?
I mean, this was bad. I mean, this was still
when
before.
When that movie came out, you could go on YouTube.
Yeah, you could go on YouTube, but it wasn't like you were going to get...
HD.
You probably weren't going to get...
Pirated shit was on YouTube, though.
I don't think so. Not like that. Did you ever...
People were in there like this.
Folks, the brand new Patreon page is up right now. Hit the link in this video description to go check it out. It's patreon.com/snackspot. When you go on there, you're going to be able to find all of the episodes that we've done so far of the Captions On podcast, where we're going through all the Disney Channel original movies from back in the day. Jesus Christ. That there's no words for that. A couple episodes of the RIP to the Bad Directions podcast, but you're going to want to sign up now, folks, while the getting is good, because right now the best part is it's only $3 a month to sign up, and once we get things really rolling, we're going to be putting up a lot more exclusive content and original shows up there, so be sure to check that out again, patreon.com/snackspot. Folks, the weather is going to start to get nicer before you know it. I'm sure of it. All right, and with that comes a lot of cookouts, people wanting to get together, hang out by the pool, And when you show up to one of these things, you don't want to come empty-handed, all right? Nobody wants to be that guy. But the good news is, even if you're in a rush, even if you forget last minute, you can use Instacart. Because with Instacart, you can get not just groceries, but some of your favorite products from some of your favorite local stores delivered right to your front door in as little as 1 hour. But the best part is, right now, 2 in the Cooler listeners get free delivery on their first order of $10 or more. And all you have to do to get that deal is hit the link in this episode description. Start making things a lot easier on yourself this spring, this summer, heading into the warmer weather, and start using Instacart today. Folks, I wanted to take this opportunity to tell you about a wonderful podcast from a good friend of mine, Michael Ornelas, L.A. comedian. He has a podcast called Fine Dining, the search for the most mediocre restaurant in America. Mike is going around. He's in every chain in America from, Raising Cane's to Perkins, Margaritaville. I mean, the guy's gone it all. He's out there looking for the most mediocre food, the most mediocre meal across the country. On a scale of 1 to 10, he's looking for that 5 spot, baby, okay? And he's out there doing it. So you can check that podcast out now. I highly recommend it. Mike's a super funny guy. But don't just listen to Fine Dining. Go win something. You can head over to linktree.com/Fine Dining Podcast and click BEES, BEES, to enter to win a giveaway for an all-expenses-paid trip to your local Applebee's. Now, I know you're wondering, what does that entail? How much could it cost to go to Applebee's? Well, I think you're going to be covered because what Mike is offering for you is $50 provided for transportation along with a $200 Applebee's gift card. By the way, I checked it out. It's $25 for 2 now or 2 for $25 instead of 2 for $20. Inflation is really just killing all of us. But luckily, you don't have to worry about that with the $200 gift card. So again, go check out the Fine Dining podcast. Listen to it wherever you can listen to podcasts. And again, hit that link. Enter to win the contest. Let's see. You've got to enter by May 1st, I believe. Let's see. Yes, enter by May 1st. Winner is going to be announced May 8th. Again, that's the Fine Dining podcast. Check it out. Win a free all-expenses-paid trip to Applebee's, folks. It doesn't get any better than that. Folks, a great way to support the show and also do something nice for yourself is to check out all the great merch that we have got over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. Hoodies, t-shirts, mugs, bucket hats, baseball hats, slides, fanny packs, notebooks, mugs, pint glasses, long sleeve shirts, mugs, notebooks, all kinds of stuff, whatever it is you're looking for, not just for this show, but also for Schemin' and Dreamin' and Quested, the other 2 podcasts that we produce right here. So again, check that out. Do something nice for yourself. Get yourself something that's going to make you look good, make you feel good. Just hit the link in this episode description or check it out yourself over at snackspot.se/creator/teespring.com. And if you're interested in advertising on this show or our twin show, Schemin' and Dreamin', or Quested, the Dungeons & Dragons podcast that we produce right here, you can send us an email over at snackspotsports@gmail.com for details on how you can start reaching tens of thousands of listeners in the Buffalo area and beyond. Because podcast advertising, boy oh boy, is it the way of the future. And you can see that with companies like McDonald's and State Farm moving into the podcast advertising space, which is pretty crazy because these are massive companies. Their ad budgets are huge. They're doing stuff on the Super Bowl and all that kind of thing. And it's cool to see them move away from the more traditional media like the TV advertising or, I don't know, newspaper, bus benches, whatever people advertise on, into something a little more relevant, I'll say it, with the podcast advertising. The problem is it hasn't really left any room for smaller local businesses to get in on the action, to get their piece of the pie. But that's what we are here for. That's what we're all about. So again, if you're interested in advertising on this show or learning more about the benefits to podcast advertising, reach out to us at snackspotsports@gmail.com. Did you ever watch any movies on YouTube, like on your iPod Touch, where it's like part 1?
No.
I watched all the scary movies that way, and
that sucks.
Some of the other, it was brutal, but it was the only way I was able to see it. I was like, it was whenever I must have been, I was in middle school.
You just rented it.
No, because there was no way to
Yeah, on demand.
Yeah, but you got to pay for it on demand. Yeah. So mom and dad would have seen it though.
So, dude.
This was before we started renting. We went mad with power.
I was a movie renter, dude. I was renting movies every night, dude.
See, this was before that though.
No.
Yes, it was.
If I wanted something, Andy, and it was on demand, I was renting it.
Mm-hmm.
As long as it wasn't like I wasn't going like crazy, like there was no X-rated rentals. But if it was on demand, I was clicking the rent button. Sometimes I would ask.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time I was later in the days, like you're talking about, dude, I was renting 2-3 movies a day.
Jeez. I mean, what's that?
$9?
$9? That's how much those were back in the day?
I thought they were maybe they were $1.40. I thought they were $3. I thought it was always like $3.
Yeah, like $2.99.
Yeah,
I think you're right. Okay, I thought it was like $9 for one.
No. I'm saying $9 total.
I do spend a lot of money now on the Amazon like new releases and things like that.
Yeah.
What did I just buy on there? I think I bought Lisa Frankenstein.
Dude, you
I think I had to
an
buy that
unreal
one.
movie?
What?
Roadhouse.
Oh, really?
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't.
Dude,
I think Faz
so
said he
good.
didn't like it.
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the original one?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, but Conor McGregor is not a good actor.
Right.
But a lot of his scenes are fight scenes, so like those are fine. But yeah, I thought it was a really good movie because it doesn't give you all the info right away. That's what I like about it. Like Jake Gyllenhaal's got. Are you gonna watch it? I don't want no spoilies. No spoilies. But like you got to put in the work to get all the info. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't just come at you right away. And it's not really what. Well, I kind of know. It's a good movie. I enjoyed it. It was like very entertaining. In fact, the next night, because then I was in the mood to watch fight movies, I watched Never Back Down for the first time. I think that, you know what movie I'm talking about? Give me a Google.
Oh, good thinking. Never Back Down.
Yeah.
I feel like I remember this flick.
Yeah, that's the one.
Never Back Down.
Dude, sick movie. I didn't watch the second one.
Oh, that's Never Back Down too.
That's Never Back
The
Down.
Beat Down.
Dude.
Yeah, this is like the most 2008 looking movie I've ever seen.
We were just talking nostalgia with Lindy Ruff. I said that halfway through the movie. I'm like, this movie on nostalgia alone is unbelievable. There's like the outfits, the way that people are like.
Well, like look at this woman right here. Like that's a
you know who that is?
2008 chick.
You know who that is?
Yes, that's Amber Heard. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, Amber Heard's very 2000. Dude, Amber Heard's 2000 and late. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah.
Amber Heard, you 2000 and late.
Yeah, Amber Heard.
Wow.
I didn't know that, but
you know what was like
obviously. She's
a big part of like
Depp.
like you know how
and
sometimes
that guy, Evan Peters, you know that?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That guy's great.
Yeah.
I love that dude.
Yeah.
He must have been pretty young though in this one.
I know, he's high school age.
Okay. Gotcha.
They all were.
Interesting.
Like that dude in the that guy, oh, huge douche. Andy.
Wututa.
That dude is the world's biggest douche.
I mean, look at his face.
He's like,
that's a 2008 face.
Like him and his dad hate each other, kind of. They don't get into it too much, but just enough, like they do.
Oh, terrific.
And he's like the coolest kid in school. Drives like a old style like Cadillac Escalade, and this whole community is just like they just all fight UFC. Like that's what they do. Like they have parties, like high school parties, and then they just have like fight nights. And that dude is like his parents are rich. He has like, he like UFC trains. He's like one of the best UFC. So he just like beats the fuck out of like high school kids and like showboats it. Like he's always just taking his shirt off and like,
oh yeah,
he's got like some fucking the old school remember when MMA first started, like the UFC like apparel, like the shorts and shit like that. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like always wearing those shorts, just like taking his shirt off, just like beating the shit out of like fucking almost kills fucking Evan Peters, Max Cooperman, just beats the piss out of him for no reason.
Damn.
Well, for a reason. It's because that guy, Jake Tyler won't fight him.
Wow, he's got too much integrity. He's got too much honor.
So that guy in the background,
yeah,
he's the train. He's the good. Honestly, the movie is just the Karate Kid.
Right.
Honest, like I'm not even kidding.
Pretty much all
you.
movies are.
It is literally the Karate Kid.
He's the Chubbs from Happy Gilmore.
No fighting outside of training.
Oh, that's bad news. What if a bunch of guys dressed as skeletons come trying to mess with my
and then
girl?
He gets angry. No, then he gets angry. Just he's in the car with Max Cooperman, and Max Cooperman's trying to calm him down because
wait, Jake Tyler's in the car with him?
Yeah, Jake Tyler and Max Cooperman are in Max Cooperman's car. Jake Tyler doesn't have a car. His family's very poor.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah. They just moved to Orlando. That's where this movie takes place.
You're joking.
Yeah. and he's from like
now. Although I will say, it's like, what kind of town just has these UFC fights like that?
Orlando.
That does make a lot more sense.
And he moved from like Iowa. Of course, his father passed away. He's a troubled young man, always getting in fights, but he's a good fighter.
Of course.
And
he's a good kid. More importantly, he's a good kid.
And so that's how the whole thing starts. So the douchey guy has his girlfriend Amber Heard invite him to a party, thinking that he's going to like Amber Heard doesn't know they're dating, and then he like gathers the whole school around and he's like, "We're the main event, brother." And Jake's like, "I'm not fighting you." And the Ryan guy was like, "Oh, something, your dad's dead." And then he's like, ugh, and then like charges at him, thinking it's like gonna be like a street fight, and fucking Ryan just kicks the shit out, like UFC's the shit out of him, like kick. And Jake Tyler keeps trying to get up, and Ryan just like kicking him in the face. Or he's like,
"Oh, you gotta have the slow mo. You gotta have the slow mo." Mm-hmm. This is Zack Snyder's heyday, baby.
And then, so it ends with one. He does end up with Amber Heard,
obviously. Whose character's name, by the way, is Baha Miller.
Her parents smoked a lot of weed. She says it. It's her first line.
That's
in the movie.
not a good excuse.
Yeah, but people were probably like, weed in 2008. They were probably fired up.
Right. Whoa.
Yeah.
I'm smoking weed right now just to get through this movie.
No, you don't need. You can watch this movie stone cold sober. But it ends. This is how. So
Blaze of Glory.
Jake Tyler ends up becoming like an unbelievable fighter and learning the ways from Jean, who is like the trainer, and he's like very at peace with himself. Like, I'm not fighting. And there's this big thing called the beat down, and it's like a rant. You get a text 12 hours before if you're like invited to the beat down, and then it's just like exactly like a Karate Kid, like you fight and you move on to the next round kind of thing.
Yeah, tournament.
Yeah, it's tournament style.
It's a kumite,
and the whole town is there, and everybody shows up to see. They want to see these two fight, and Jake Tyler's like, "Dude, I'm not fighting in that. Like, I don't need that. Like, that's what the douchebag guy wants. He wants me to show up and fight." And the douchebag guy's like, gets wind that Jake Tyler's not gonna come. He's like, "I need him to come. Like, I need because he wants the audience. Like, that's the whole thing." So that's why he invites Max Cooperman over, because Max Cooperman like can't fight. He's just a nerdy little dude kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "You want to hang out?" And Max is like, "Of course, dude. This is so sick. I'm hanging out with like this cool guy." And then he beats the fuck out, like beats him half to death. So Jake has to bring him to the hospital, and then goes and fights, and he gets what's his name's blessing to go fight in the beatdown.
Jean.
Yeah. So Jake makes it all the way to the finals, and then in Ryan's, the douchebag's semifinal fight, he gets disqualified for biting. Or no, eye gouging. He gets disqualified for eye gouging.
Holy shit.
So Jake Tyler walks in, broken ribs, battered, like limps his way to the mat for the final, and sees that he didn't fight in the semifinal. His semifinal match was after Ryan. So limps his way like out of the bathroom. He snuck in the back and grabbed an ice pack, and like his girlfriend's dragging him to the mat, ready to fight in the semifinal. And he looks up and he sees that the douchebag got disqualified and didn't advance. So before the fight even starts, he just taps the mat and like taps out, and everybody's like, "Whoa, what the heck?" So then Ryan gets all pissed, and, like follows him out to the parking lot. Like, what was that about? And he's like, I wasn't here to fight. I was here for you. And then they start fighting in the parking lot, and everybody pours out of the building where the fight is during the final, and like turns their car headlights on, and they have this huge fight in the parking lot, and obviously Jake Tyler wins.
Damn.
And then he walks away with the girl.
That sounds like a pretty good movie, actually.
Dude, it's not really a spoiler because it's from 2008, but you should watch it. Great
was
film.
Pretty good. I would like to, you know how
people are like, why the fuck did you just give a movie breakdown of a movie from literally 16 years ago?
Because it's the golden age of cinema. You know how, like, after a certain amount of time...
Emily, had you ever seen Never Back Down?
No.
What did you think the answer to that question was going to be?
Apparently, it was a popular movie back in 2008.
Well, I don't know about that.
We probably weren't allowed to watch it.
It was all we had. No, I doubt it.
Too much violence.
But you know how, like...
a little bit of boob.
I'm trying to think of an example.
Ryan Reynolds.
But, like, certain period piece movies will try to look like they were like if you have a movie about the 1950s or like
if you have a movie about the early 2000s, they'll try to make it like look like they're in the early 2000s.
No, what I'm saying is, you know how you have like you remember that movie The Artist where it's like a silent movie? It's like well they want to make it look like a 1920s. I want to make a movie that looks like 2008. Everybody's just sweating the whole time.
The movie Accepted, like.
But that's from 2000.
I know, but you're saying like remake that movie, but make it look like I get what you're saying.
Okay, yeah,
like a movie, not that plot, but that looks like that movie.
Yeah, a movie set in 2008 that looks like a movie from 2008. But I feel like this, like a movie like this, exemplifies that more so than the comedies of that era because this is just such a. I mean, that is just such a look. Like even the early Fast and the Furious things, where like everything's just a little bit grimy. You know,
nothing fits properly.
Nothing fits right.
Yeah.
The women are like so skinny. It's like truly impossible.
Low-waisted jeans, man.
Those low rise jeans.
That's what I wear. That's all I wear.
But
show a little extra skin.
Well, you got to give the people what they want. But God, that'd just be so funny to see that aesthetic. I got to watch one again though, just to see like what kind of angles they use exactly, because. Most of the time, I'm just thinking about like the lighting on these flicks, and it looks exactly like that. It's just so. God, why was everybody so sweaty in 2008?
It's hot year.
It was a very hot year. It was the first year we didn't know what global warming was until
record high.
2008 is probably about the time.
Obama's first year.
Obama's first year. The ice caps lost a lot of whatever.
You did, Barack.
Yep. Just bombing villages.
Now the kids can't even eat cookies at lunch. It's bullshit, man.
That's a tough one.
It's bullshit.
You know, but you got to get out there and play 60. Okay,
dude,
I'm still a big play 60.
But play 60.
Play 60 stands.
As long as you're playing 60, you should be able to have cookies.
Goddamn right. If you play 60, you're pretty much invincible.
That should be what it is. You should have to have a play 60 punch card, and if you can prove that, you can eat an old 60. school lunch. Dude, I saw a tweet the other day.
If you play 60, you can eat anything you want.
I saw a tweet the other day that was a picture of an old school elementary lunch menu, like on a fridge. Do you remember that? They used to send out for the month the lunch schedule.
Wow.
Do you remember? I mean, it was a purple piece of, cut out paper or whatever, like regular paper, and on it would be printed like Monday.
Grilled cheese.
Yeah. Friday, Mexican
grilled
pizza.
Grilled cheese. Oh,
no. Yeah. Tuesday.
Grilled cheese.
Ribicue. What was it called?
Yeah, Ribicue. Did you ever eat one of those?
No, I never tried it. People were passionate about the Ribicue.
People liked the Ribicues. Popcorn chicken, I think, was maybe the most popular though of all time.
Yeah,
it was damn good.
In high school, I don't even remember the elementary school lunches. But in high school, we had
deal.
No, like we never had nachos grande in elementary school.
I guess that's true.
I'm like, not, but yeah, I don't know.
I remember getting stuffed crust pizza a couple times in elementary school.
Yeah, every once in a while on a Friday,
and that was a big deal.
Yeah,
stuffed crust pizza.
Because we used to do the thing where we had enough allowance for 2 lunches a week. Do you remember this?
Mm-mm.
Or was it one lunch a week?
I don't know, because I never bought my lunch.
No, when we were that's not true. Because when we were in elementary school, I think it was 1. I don't think it was 2. 2 would be greedy. We were allowed to buy lunch once a week. We were given the money to buy lunch once a week.
It had to be like $2.
Yeah, it was like $2.25.
Yeah. Dude,
It might, dude. Honestly, it was probably like $1.75. Because I think when we were in high school, a double lunch was like $5. Yeah.
Yeah,
which would be $2.50 a lunch. Yeah. Which talk about a steal. I wish I could still eat lunch for $2.50.
Dude, you could get a pretzel. A pretzel rod for a nickel, which shouldn't even like
the snack line.
They should have stopped that in like 1920 or something.
The snack. One thing that hasn't been affected by inflation: pretzel rods, bananas, and pretzel rods, and Arizona iced teas.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the snack line. I forgot about that. The doors would shut for a little bit and then open back up, and it was like it's a snack line now.
Yeah, grandma's cookies.
Grandma's cookies, dude. I was just gonna bring those up. They were so good. Yeah. Truly best peanut butter cookies I've ever had in my life.
I still eat them sometimes.
Cookies. Yeah, they're so good.
Yeah. I like the chocolate brownie ones.
See, that's too chocolatey. That's too chocolatey for me.
I either go chocolate brownie or OG chip.
Dude, when I don't had my single dorm in Fredonia, I would get high, and then I would get hungry, but also super like anxious.
Yeah.
Because I would have to walk downstairs to the vending machine, and you have to pass by like the RA office or whatever to get there. So I know that at least one person's going to see me. And, like, it's not like we're going to interact or anything. But still, when you're, like, that high or whatever like I was, like, freaking out. But the grandmas, the sandwich, vanilla cookies, they would call to me. And I would have to walk down there and get them.
Did you ever think about just buying the cookies before you got high?
Not a single time. Not a single not once.
Not until I just said that.
Not once, not never did that ever occur to me. No, plan ahead, not a chance, baby. I was flying by the seat of my pants, or however you say it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah.
That was like the last time I watched regular TV was in college.
I do now because of YouTube TV.
Right.
Like, I like to get my commercial fix in.
I've just been watching nonstop comic book documentaries it's God damn it. And I have seen them all at least three times already. I've watched the Image Comics documentary, 5 or 6 times, and I can't get enough of it. I've been on an absolute tear lately.
Tonight.
Although I did find there's this series that I think Vice did, but you can watch most of them on Amazon Prime for free. It's called Icons Unearthed or something, and they're each like 6 episodes, 44 minutes, and they did one on The Simpsons, which that was really cool because I've been waiting for like a Simpsons documentary because they did one for the 25th anniversary that was directed and created by Morgan Spurlock, who's the Super Size Me dude.
Yeah.
And fuck that guy. That was an interesting documentary, like the Super Size Me.
Yeah.
I watched that and I stopped eating fast food for like 6 months afterwards. But fuck that guy because he's a narcissist, and he made this whole Simpsons documentary pretty much about himself, and it absolutely sucked. You can watch it on YouTube for free. It's dog shit, but this was good. This was 6 episodes. It's like this is how it started. It's also good, and they so I haven't finished it, but they've done one on like the all the Marvel movies.
Yeah.
And that's cool because on Disney Plus, they have some Marvel documentary stuff, but it's all obviously Marvel produced and things like that. So it's really not that interesting.
Most of it's shorts,
a lot of them are pretty short, and they're just not interesting. They're just not interesting. Yeah, because it's pretty much just like we're so excited about this project or whatever. But then when you have an outside company doing it, it's like you can get more into the weeds and stuff and like get the full story and everything. And it's so good. It's very, very interesting. Nice. I'm liking that stuff. You want to get into the who would win?
I do.
I can see in your eyes. You got that who would win. You got that who would win look on you. I'm excited for this who would win. Yeah. Thank you for doing it. I know you don't like doing.
Well, I just know my answer, and
I know my answer.
It's right.
No, it's not.
Is wrong.
The who would win of the week this week is Fred and George Weasley, the Weasley twins, versus the Twitches. It's Twitches, baby. It's Twitches all the way. Fred and George, God bless them. I love them. They're causing mischief all over the place. Here's the other thing, brother. I'll tell you this right now for free. So the Weasleys, the Weasley twins, they were raised with magic. The Twitches, they get thrown right into that world, and they immediately take on the darkness, the big bad, and come out on top with practically no training because they're naturals.
Anybody could take out the darkness.
No, Matthew, the darkness took over the land for like 200 plus years.
I know how you take out the darkness. Fucking flip the light switch, baby.
But it's there's more to it than that. First, it's a power of friendship. It's a power of believing in yourself, and all that stuff. And
the power of being a fucking loser.
Don't you ever say that about the Twitches. You can say that about just about anyone else, but not the Twitches, Andy. Not the Twitches.
Fred and George Weasley are so underrated.
They're not underrated.
Yes, they are.
Everybody knows they're great.
Whose turn? Is this your turn or my turn?
Okay, how many times? It beats me. I'm getting screwed up because you're interrupting me the whole time.
Yeah, because you have horrible points.
I don't have a horrible point. I'm looking up Twitches.
Andy.
Go ahead.
Fred and George Weasley because they don't finish school and they didn't do well on their owls, this, that, the other thing. They debunked the entire wizard community. They said, we don't need to know all your hoo-has and fligamawats.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay?
Thanks for getting the verbiage correct.
What we need to do is wreak havoc on the world. And how are we going to do that with magic? Andy, it is way harder to wreak havoc with magic than it is anything else, because they'll just use magic to figure out how you're wreaking havoc. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Friend George Weasley opened a whole shop around making that impossible. They first of all, and again, I did just read Order of the Phoenix, but case in point, Umbridge. Dolores fucking Umbridge. The worst human in the world. The only real wizard that the Twitches could actually defeat would probably be Dolores Umbridge, because she is just so bad at everything.
What are you talking about?
Dude, Neville Longbottom, he's steaming the Twitches.
Okay, but Neville is also really good. And Neville on his own couldn't beat the Twitches, but don't use Neville as an example of a bad wizard, because he's not.
We're talking early book Neville.
Okay,
I'm talking year one Neville.
A child, an 11-year-old.
Year one Neville could beat the Twitches.
That's nuts.
Andy.
That's nuts.
They're off-brand Narnia.
What are you talking about,
Because they walk
dude?
through their closet and they end up in a castle.
That might be right.
It is right.
I don't know about that, because I think you're thinking of that
other
poor. Show.
No, because the one is poor.
That's
and
true.
Goes
and
to the rich one's house with the big closet.
That's another thing that's going for the Twitches, though, Matthew, is that they don't even know they're twins. They don't even know they're twin witches until they have to.
Fred
and then
George
they come together and their bond is. And exactly.
Okay,
they
guess
spent
what?
their whole
Can the
lives
Twitches-
together, and they don't achieve as much as the Twitches do within
they don't
3
achieve
days?
as much.
They defeat the darkness. The Twitches defeat the darkness, Matthew.
Look, you're at
George gets his ear blown off, and Fred gets killed by a Death Eater. Not even Voldemort. No offense, but he's not even going up against a big bad, and he gets squashed. The Twitches, they go up against the big bad, and they come out on top with zero training.
Fred and George do so. The darkness is a joke.
Fred and George.
The darkness is a legit joke, Andy.
Obviously,
a joke.
Obviously not, Matthew, because he takes over the entire realm.
That realm is a joke.
You're nuts, man. That's a magical realm.
It's a joke of a magical realm.
No, it's not, man.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Calabar would frickin' take over.
That's just insulting. You know who would have a tough time against Calabar? Fred George.
Dude.
Fred George.
Because
they've never gone up.
Dude.
They've never gone up against the big
close.
bad before. Matthew.
Not even
they're
close.
Always,
the Twitches are not the big bad.
I know that, but they defeat the big bad.
The darkness is not the big bad.
The darkness is the big bad,
Who do you think wins
Matthew?
in a fight? The darkness or Lord Voldemort?
Gotta be Voldemort, I'm saying. But Fred and George don't even go up against Voldemort.
I know.
The darkness,
that's not what I'm saying,
Voldemort
though.
beats the darkness, but I'm not saying Voldemort beats the Twitches.
The darkness doesn't even kill people.
The darkness absorbs their life force or some shit like that. See, he tries to kill the newborn. He tries to kill the newborn Twitches.
He couldn't even kill 2 babies.
Voldemort couldn't kill 1 fucking baby, man. Harry Potter. Why would you even bring that up as an example? That's a terrible example.
The Twitches are not. First of all, the Twitches are shit at magic. Let's just call a spade.
What are you nuts?
What spells can the Twitches do?
Matthew,
what spells can the Twitches do?
We've had this kind of discussion before when we were talking about the Hocus Pocus witches versus the Cromwell witches and like that type of magic. The Twitches' magic is a lot more intuitive to the user, which also benefits them going up against Friend George, where it's a little more. You got to put a little more effort.
I don't know how you could sit here and look in my face and say that the Twitches are more powerful than Friend George.
Okay, I'll tell you how. I'll tell you how. Just like this, and don't interrupt me. I'll tell you exactly how. Just like this, the Twitches did not grow up with magic. They find out that they have magical abilities. They find out that they're twins.
I'm just saying, you just debunked your point.
Okay, what did I remember when I said?
Because you just said their magic is intuitive. Like it's not like the other magic. So it doesn't fucking matter if they grew up not knowing they could do it. If they have such fucking strong intuition,
their magic is
then of
more
course
intuitive.
They're just gonna
their magic is more intuitive. No, but that's what makes them such great, witches, magical beings. And the Twitches go up. Why are you being so rude right now? Okay, we're trying to have a real debate here. I'm trying to present to you my points, and you're making a fart noise. Now, as a rebuttal, it's not the worst you've ever had, but I'm still trying to talk about the Twitches right now. And the fact is that the Twitches go to a brand new realm that is pretty much strange to them. They were born in it, but they haven't seen it since they were 3 months old. They go into this realm. They don't even know that they're magic users until they get in there, start using their magic. They don't even know they're twins, Matthew. And they defeat the darkness. Fred and George, grown up with magic their whole lives, known each other their whole lives. They're geniuses. Fred and George are geniuses, but they don't have the magical abilities that the Twitches have. And the Twitches are going to kick their butts every time. Twitches don't even need the wands either, right? That's another benefit to Twitches. Friend George, boom, you got to have a wand. If you're a Harry Potter wizard, you have to have a wand to direct your magic. The Twitches don't need that. Friend George, again, George gets his ear shut off. Fred gets killed. They don't even get killed by Voldemort.
Shut up.
They get killed by supporting bad guys. No, because I did not yield. I did not yield my time. I did not yield my time on the floor, Senator.
Yield. All right.
You can't do that. I'm filibustering for the Twitches. I'm just going to be reading green eggs and ham.
How do the
Sam,
Twitches...
I am.
Tell me something.
Could you eat them with a box? Could you eat them in a box?
Tell me something.
I have not yielded my time.
Tell me something. How do the Twitches defeat the darkness?
With the power of love.
That's it? No,
they use their fucking magic, dude. They fucking zap shit. They use their fucking magic.
Do they zap shit?
Yeah, they zap all boom, boom, bang.
Do they know defensive spells?
Yeah. Boom. That's one right there.
They're not trained in the dark arts.
No, they're not. They're not trained in defense against the dark arts, is what you're trying to say?
Either or.
No, I'm helping you. Why? I should just let you talk. You know what?
No,
I shouldn't interrupt you.
That's a stupid take. What you just said is a stupid take because I do agree that they can't defend the dark arts, but they also, they can't attack either.
Of course they can.
How? They got
Bang! Boom!
You're making
Biff.
shit up.
Swoop!
They do not do that. That does not happen in the movie.
Look at... Hold on.
Andy.
Look at this. Look at their magic fingers. Oh, you can buy Twitches.
Dude.
On DVD and Blu-ray.
Get the fuck out of here with Twitches.
Matthew, don't disrespect Twitches.
I'm not disrespecting the film.
Okay.
But I'm disrespecting their ability to do magic. And that's it. I'm taking Fred and George. I'm done.
I'm taking Twitches. I'm done. I'm locking in the Twitches.
I'll tell you right now.
Twitches gang for life. T and Tamara. Don't you ever bet against T and Tamara.
If Twitches wins the Instagram pool, this will be my last Two in the Cooler episode of L-Time. And I stand by that.
They might win.
Vote on that on Friday on Instagram. If you would ever like to hear this podcast again, make the right decision.
Okay, you can't blackmail people into voting for Friend George. Yes, you are. You're saying to the people who like listening to this podcast that if you want more, you have to vote a certain way. That's blackmail. I'm saying even if you vote for Friend George.
I said they have to vote correctly.
Emily, read that back, please.
I said they have to vote correctly.
Blackmail. That's
it's up
blackmail.
to them to determine what's correct.
This is blackmail talk, Matthew.
But
you're
there's
using
a right
blackmail
answer.
terminology here.
There's a right answer.
And the right answer is Twitches. And I think that people will realize that.
I'm going to require identification checks for people to be able to vote.
That's just messed up. That's just messed up. You're trying to fucking put some Jim Crow ass shit into our who would win polls, and I'm not here for it. I think the vote should be for the people. In fact, if you want to mail in for Twitches, it's weird because all the mail-in votes are for Twitches. I don't know how that happened, but most of the mail-ins that we're getting happen to be for Twitches.
I'm going to have to get the Instagram law. There's going to be 150 fake Instagram accounts that vote for fucking Twitches. It's going to be all Andy.
Yep. All right. Well, we'll lock it in. I'm saying Twitches.
Yeah, I'm saying Fred and George. Weasley. Vote on that on Friday. Instagram. Who won the week? Move on. We're done. We're done. I'm done with my wizarding speak today.
That's fair. That is fair.
And that was all I had was wizarding speak. I got nothing left.
Nothing in the old tank. That's
I got
all right.
nothing in the tank. Except for the fact... except for the fact that... I was trying to think of something.
Oh, you were building up. That's all right.
I really don't have much.
That's okay.
It's good to be back in the stew, though. It felt good. Man, I was sick as a dog.
Yeah, you sound a lot healthier.
Yeah. I still, got that whole hacking up a lung thing going on. But I think that's just the congestion. The congestion. Yeah. So got to work on that. But other than that, Andy, NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, it's all going on.
That's
Great
right.
time of year for sports. NFL draft is tomorrow. Go Bills. That's all I got. Wore my sweater today.
Looking good. I love it.
It took me a year to find.
Yeah. I can't believe that the tape held for that long. That was the thing I was most worried about.
Taped.
Well, I tried to really. I stuck it to the bottom of the bed frame, and I was like,
I had to get a knife to.
Smart.
There's probably still tape on the bed.
That's good. Good. I'm glad.
Yeah, hold it together a little bit.
Yeah.
Andy?
Yes.
I love you.
I love you too. Let's get out of here. Thanks, folks.